Hello my loves, I am delighted to introduce you to my little Easter egg journal. It comes in its own box, feels really beautiful and solid and weighty. We've got this lovely Easter egg matting on the front here. We've got some words on the side and on the front and on the back of the box. And we've got this lovely matting panel on the back. Inside our box, if we slide open the cover, we've got this beautiful little Easter egg shaped journal that matches the cover there. If we look inside, we've got so many tags and pockets. These have all got writing space on the back. Let's go through all of them and have a look, because there's some beautiful images underneath the tags. All these lovely tags. All these pockets. We've got some little belly bands there that are made of the words. We've got here, this is so ridiculously cute. We've got this little bunny envelope, and inside the envelope, we've got a little card there. How cute is that? Pop that back in. Such fun to play with. And then we've got another belly band here with another tag in it. We've got three little tags, oh gosh, more than that, in this little pocket here. This one is a little folding card with the chicks on it, revealing this kettle behind. We've got another little belly band made of the word there with this little tag, the Easter chicks and the cockerel, writing spaces all over the place. Another one here with this little Easter egg tag. Oh, two little tags there. And we've got more little tags in these pockets, all again with writing space on the back. Little circular tag there, little nest, little chick in this little angled pocket. And there we have the back cover. It feels beautiful. It's really filled up and weighty, and it lives inside its little box. Come with me and let's put this lovely thing together. So here are all my bits and bobs cut out. I'm on 250 gram throughout. If you want to experiment by printing out your pages on paper, you can do. Here's one that my Cricut machine didn't like. I've decided to go on card. If you want to go on paper, you're going to be able to fit more pages into the spine area here. So you could double up on some of these pages if you wanted to. Right, let's have a look at what's in the kit. We've got the pages themselves. They look like this. And they look like this. They don't need reverse printing. Then you've got the cover. That's got the spine here. That doesn't need reverse printing. You've got a couple of pages of tags and whatnot. They're reverse printed with the sheet that you get in the kit. And then I've got the box as well. And the box I've reverse printed. Right, I think we're ready to make a start. I'm going to start with the box. This is the base of the box. We've got scoring to do. You can clearly see all the lines that we need to score here. And you can just go straight across. Them all. I think I've missed one there. I think I've got them all. There we go. You're also going to need to do a little bit of snipping. These kits, as all my kits are fine for Cricut machines and hand cutting. Your Cricut machine isn't going to go down these little tabs here, so you need to cut those by hand. Like that, and then we can fold this box up. You're going to fold everything in towards the middle, as ever, paying attention to everything sitting nice and square. Don't blindly follow your score marks, because you might have been a little bit off and you might not be able to see on the video, but I can see my score lines there. I can see what square looks like. Use a folding bone by all means if you want to. There we go. I think I've folded all my bits and bobs in, and now I can glue. I'm going to start by popping some glue on these tabs, and I want those to go tacky before I stick, because it saves me having to hold them in place if I get an instant grab. And you're going to tuck your tabs under, making sure that your corners are all nice at 90 degrees. Oh look, there's one I've missed. How annoying. Look at that. Let's undo that and make that crease now. There's always one. There we go, that's looking good. And now I can pop some glue. You can use tape on this bit if you want to, on these long tabs at the top here. Awkward video angle. There we go. Whoops. And I want those to be tacky as well, just saves me having to hold them in place while the glue grabs. And then we're going to fold these down. To revisit pressing those down a couple of times till the glue decides it's playing ball. There we go. Make sure you get these corners all tucked nicely in so you get a nice square box. There we go, that looks great. I'm going to ink that obviously before I'm done, but let's move on to the cover of the box. And we've got scoring to do here. And folding to do here. Again, making sure that your pieces line up nicely as you go. And then you've got this little tab at the end that we're going to glue. Now with this, you can fold this over and you can bring this piece down flat on top of it. And there is your box sleeve. Make sure that's lined up nicely. There we go. And I'm going to put my little matting panels on the front and on the back. That's this page here. Now then, you've got two options here. You've got these three pieces that are for your box sleeve. And before I stick those on, I'm going to ink them, because I'm not going to have an opportunity to do this once they're stuck in place. I love this little panel here. So you've got the option of sticking this one on the front or this one on the front. And the way I've given you the option, but the way I've designed it and the way I'm going to do it is that this decorative one here with the bunny rabbit on and the Easter basket is going to go on the reverse. And I'm putting these two pieces on the front. So I've got that nice layered effect. So I can go ahead and I can glue those down. Or you can flip your box, it doesn't make any difference. You can do what you like. I love people adapting my kits and taking the basic concept and running with it in their own way. So if you have got a different way that you think you would like to construct this, by all means go ahead. So there's one panel on. Whoops. Here's the other panel on. Looking lovely. And making sure that it's the right way up before I go sticking my egg on. I'm going to pop my egg on that side. I think it looks really good. There, I'm really happy with that. I really love the way it looks. We've also got some words to go on the sides. Whoops, where are we? And the front of our box here. Getting a pickle with them all. And I think from memory that some of these words are a little bit longer than other words. So choose the two longest and then the next two longest. These two long ones are to go on the outside of your sleeve if you want them. You don't have to use them. It's very nice, adds a real nice rigidity, adding these extra layers on there, and your box will feel really, really lovely and heavy and gorgeous to hold by the time you've finished. And these two shorter pieces, they're not the shortest. There are 4 short ones as well, they're for the inside of your journal, but these mid-sized, mid-length ones are to go, I'll show you now, on the actual box itself. One on the front. I do recommend you use these. Like I say, they add a nice bit of rigidity to the box. There we go. And your extra long ones are going to go on your box sleeve sides. They look lovely. Whoops. There, doesn't that look so gorgeous? I'm going to let those dry now. Let's move on. This piece here is the cover, and it's different from these other pages because it's got a spine and it's also slightly larger. And what we're going to do with this one is make these folds first of all. Don't need a scoring board for that. I've already done mine. They fold quite nicely and instinctively down this little narrow piece here. Just make sure that you're lining these up beautifully, and then make any tiny adjustment to your spine width that you need to make. If you feel you need to trim just a little tiny bit off these edges, then you can go ahead and do that. I can see mine could do with a slight snip down here, just a whisker. And let's do the same on the other side. Just to allow for this fold here in the spine. And when you're happy that you've got your pieces lined up beautifully, you can go ahead and glue. You want to make sure you get all up to the edges here because you don't want any little gaps. So stick your pages together like that, making sure that you're all nicely lined up and you really minimise any white, and make sure they're lining up really nicely. Same with this back page. Make sure we get that glue up to the edge. Stick that down, have a look, make sure we've not got any white overhang, and there we go. There is our cover. We're going to glue down these little tabs here. They'll give us some extra nice rigidity in the spine and also give us that nice rounded edge that I like so much. We can ink. we go. And our cover matches the cover on the box as well. How beautiful and vintage and gorgeous is that egg? I love it. Stick those down again. Let's put this to one side now and move on to the actual pages. So we've got decorated pages and we've also got some plain pages. If you want to experiment printing onto paper so you can get more pages on, you can double up on some of these. You can do that if you want to. These turn out to be really sturdy pages because they're going to be backed, so they turn out to be as sturdy as your cover here. I want that because I want that really heavy, nice feel when I'm done. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to fold our pages like this. You don't need a scoring board for this, they fold quite naturally. And just make sure with each fold, before you commit, that you're lining everything up perfectly and you've got no white showing on either side. There we are, like that. And you're going to repeat that for each of these pages. I tell you what though, let's do one here now, and then I can do the others off camera. So exactly the same deal as we did with the cover, but obviously we haven't got the spine in these pages. So glue your page together like that, and the same with this one. Getting up to your edges. There we go. So that's one double page spread of your journal. I'm going to repeat that with all of these pages. Right, so I've done that with these 4 decorative pages, and I've also made up one of the plain pages. Now these were not an afterthought to my design, but they came secondary to my design. I put in some plain pages, so you've got the option to, you could even make a notebook out of this if you wanted to and just use plain pages. If you're printing on paper for these pages, you'll get more pages in. But what I want you to do now is, before you go committing, and we're not going to stick these pages in just now, if you take your 4 pattern pages and pop it in your book, and then take all of the ephemera, including the pockets and everything, into a pile like this, place them in here, you can see how much depth, how much thickness they take up. Now when I was designing this, I actually decided how many layers, including all the ephemera and the pockets and whatnot, I needed, and then made the spine accordingly. It was quite a calculation because I had to find out how thick a sheet of 250 gram card is, how many pieces I wanted to go in there, and then do it that way. So you can see that with all of that in place, my little egg folio, my little egg journal is beautifully full and nice and heavy. So in this instance, I'm not going to go with these. Let's move these to one side. I'm not going to use these plain pages. You've got some design choices to make yourself. Like I say, this would make lovely notebooks. If you're on paper, you're going to have more room. So just do that thing. Do what you're going to do, make up a few pages, get all your ephemera together. You could go on 200 gram for this if you wanted to, or even slightly thinner, so you can get more in. Totally up to you, but check that out. And I'm not going to stick these pages in yet. I'm going to pop these in first because they're going to dictate quite how the pages stick onto the spine. So I'm going to have a look and decide which page I want to go at the front, etc. Now all of my pages are folded inwards so that I've got this nice plain edge here, and then on the back where they're going to glue in, that's where I've got that little bit of white space that you can see. Right, so I need to decide which page is going to go on the front. Let's have a look at my front cover. Let's have a look at these. Shall I go with a plain chick? I think that's rather nice. And then after that, I really don't care. I love that little chick. So up to you, whichever one you want to do first. Just make sure that all your raw edges that you can see are the spines at the back. And then I'm going to start decorating before I stick in, before I stick the spines in. I want to make sure that I'm sticking those spines in the optimal position, and that'll become clear in the end. So I've got these little pockets with little tabs to tuck under. You can score if you want to. They're only tiny little bibbidi edges. I'm just going to do them like this. There are some more pockets somewhere else as well. Let's have a look for those. Here we go. How many of those did I do? I think I did 4. Might have been 2. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, 2. So I've got 6 pockets in all, and I've got all of these pages to stick them on, and you'll see that some pages I've deliberately allowed a space at the bottom, so you can stick pockets on those if you want to. And I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those, and 6 pockets. Double check I've got 6 pockets, not 8. Yeah, there we go, 6 pockets. So I'm going to glue a pocket on the front because I think that would be quite nice. With my little rabbit, I think I'll go rabbit. You've got a tiny little border all the way around, and I'm going to glue my tags. Little tiny dip of glue. And I'm going to glue just a little seam, tiniest little seam I can get away with. I'm not going to come right up to the tags. I'm going to leave those 2 bits open. And I'm going to stick this first pocket in place, honouring that little tiny border around the edge. Oh, and I have also inked all of my edges for all of these pieces that I'm going to be working with now. So there we go. There's my first pocket on. I'm going to pop another pocket here. Let's have a look to see what this one looks like. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? This one, I'm going to put a little seam all the way around. Tiniest little seam that you can get away with all the way around. This is an angled pocket. Again, you've got this tiny little border going around the edge here. That's that one. Rather fond of that with all those blue eggs. I like that a lot. So same again with these semicircular pockets. Don't go right up to the edge. Seam glue at the bottom and glue on the little tags. And pop these wherever you want to pop them. There. I've got the kettle here. I think I want to use this one here because I've got more eggs. That's so cute. And I've got 2 pages with the gaps at the bottom that I'm not going to be sticking a pocket on. And I'm going to go with these middle pages, and I'm going to leave those, and I'm going to stick a pocket on here. That's another basket, isn't it? Or rather like that. And I'll go with this one here, yeah. Make sure you've got your tags all nice and square, Emma. Tiny little fiddly bits. Again, narrow seam of glue down the bottom there. And honour that tiny little border. And then I've got this one. I love that. I think that's beautiful. With the chick and the daffodils. Tiny little seam all the way around here. Whoops. And stick this one on nice and straight. There we go. There are my pockets on. And I'm going to give those a little time to dry. And I've just had an extra little idea. These words, I've got 4 words here, or sentiments. I can make these into little tiny belly bands, and I'm going to have a little go at that. So a little bit of glue down each edge of an inked word, cleverly placed so it's not too low, and central would be good, Emma. Central and straight, Emma, if you can manage it. And there we go. I've made a little belly band. The glue's not dry yet, obviously, for a little tag there. And I've got a few of these little narrow tags, so I feel quite confident that I'm going to be able to put a couple of these on. This is my first page, isn't it? Let's have a look how it's looking. That page is grand all by itself. This page, that could lend itself to a nice little word there without losing too much of the pattern underneath. And with the Easter bunny next to it, it's quite fitting. So I'm going to pop this one on in the middle, nice and straight. There, that looks great. I've made a little tuck spot, a little belly band. Nice, didn't intend to do that. And I'm sure if I have a look, actually, let's have a look what we've got. I might be able to make a little tuck spot out of another of these. Let's have a look. I might not do that. Oh, these are lovely, aren't they? No, I think I'll just go with me words. But there is the option, if you wanted to, for instance, if you were using a plain page, you could make yourself a little tuck spot by just gluing the bottom section here, and then you've got a nice little tuck spot to pop something else. Always check that you're not sticking out over the edge and not impinging with any of your, where you need to be closing and folding and such like. So there we go. Oh, hang on. So I'm going to do another two. Decide where I can pop them, really. I'm not going to cover up that page. Easter bunny, that looks just gorgeous. I'm not going to cover up that page. I can go down here on my egg. That works quite well without losing, without it looking silly like it's covering up a pattern. Just put a string of glue across there. We don't want that, do we? And pop that here. And one more. That one there, I think. Or I can go there. No, I think I'll leave that one. I've already got one there. I'm going to put this one on this side here. Where I've got an all over pattern on the egg page, it doesn't feel like I'm covering anything up, if you know what I mean. There we go. There we go. It's looking lovely. Right, now I'm going to let everything dry properly before I go stuffing. There's an envelope here, this piece here, look at it. Score, fold your bottom up, fold your side over the top, have a look at where you can glue, pop some glue down, same on this side, pop some glue down, stick those two pieces in place, and you've made the cutest little envelope. Look at that. And there's also a card to go in it. That's this piece here. So fold your pieces in half like that. Let's pop a little bit of ink on that folded edge. And once your envelope has decided to stick together, you've got a little card, tiny, tiny little card to go in this tiny, tiny little envelope. And it does fit. It does fit. There we go. How stupidly cute is that little card in a little envelope? Right, are we ready to stuff? Now I am going to stuff before I stick my spines to the main spine, because it will slightly dictate where I stick the spines. So I'm going to mess about now, and I'm going to take my pieces and I'm honest to God, I design the templates meticulously down to, you know, even the thickness of a piece of card, and so it's a long journey for me, and by the time I get to this point I'm absolutely delighted with what I'm seeing from conception to birth. It's all going on now. I love it. Here's my little envelope and my little card that goes in my little envelope. You can go in there. This is a very narrow little pocket, but I reckon I can just squidge him in there. There we go. These other pockets, the other pockets have got a little bit more forgiveness because they've got the tabs at the sides. There we go. So maybe he's better off going in a thicker pocket. I've got a little chick here. That's a double page. I'm going to put singles in these. Oh, a little bird look on top of the eggs. That's perfect, isn't it? Does that fit in there nicely? Is it sticking up over the top? Ever so slightly. No, that's okay. That's okay. Right, go through it methodically, Parish. I've got that in there. That's quite thick. I've got, what have I got that can go in here? There. So I'm going to go through singly first. Now I know that these little tags, oh, and this fella here, are going to be, that's so cute, isn't it? Look at that. Gorgeous. Yeah, so I've got these narrow tags that can fit under these places. I'm going to go in one at a time, first of all, and then go back to the beginning and pop more in once I've been through once. Is that it? That is it, isn't it? Oh my God, look at all these tags I've got. Here we go then. More tags, guys, more tags. I've got more bunnies here. Let's stick another bunny in there. I've got another little bird. Look, another little bird will fit in that one. I've got, oh, this one, I didn't pop anything in there, did I? I've got one of these narrow tags to go in there. Tags. Tags. I've got that can go in there. I've got another one I didn't fill there. That's actually a little loose in there, isn't it? Let's pop another one in. If we've got room, why not? Got a little bunny. Can go in that one. I've got a little circular tag. Will fit nicely in there. That's it again, and I've still got one left. Where am I going to put this one? I'm going to pop it in one of the ones that's got little pockets. Will that all fit in there? That's asking a lot of that pocket, but yes, we're in. Right, so here are my 4 pages. Now, all loaded up and really sturdy and thick. And now I've got the very delicate job of sticking these in. You see how these now have got some distance between them. They're not all bunched together as they were before, and that is how I'm going to glue them in. Now it's a delicate job, this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue over my spine. Make sure I've got lots of glue on my spine, especially in this bit here where my 2 little tabs don't meet. So I've got my glue on the spine here. I'm going to pop a little bit more on like this, and I'm also going to glue down the spine of each of those 4 pages, being very careful not to get glue anywhere I don't want glue. And I'm holding all of these pages all nicely lined up on top of one another. I'm going to take the spine, line the back page up with the spine, bring the spine around, knowing that the spine is taking up all of this space because I've pre-measured it, so I can be confident. I'm going to stick that in place, line everything up like this so it all looks good, and I'm going to pop it down on my tabletop, and I'm going to press these pages in because I want to make damn sure that all of these pages are sticking onto the spine like that. And I'm going to hold this here for a while. I've thought about employing these, but really I'm just going to go with it. I'm not risking anything at this stage. I want all of those pages sticking nicely onto the spine. So I'm just going to hold this for a minute, and then I'm just going to put it down and leave it alone. So here we are. The glue has had a chance to dry, and let's have a little look. I'm going to be a little bit ginger with these pages because they are glued in. It's a traditional bookbinding method, gluing in your spines like that, so you don't have to worry about it. If you've put enough glue on there and you've pressed all of that in, you should be fine. If you have got a problem, you can open up your pages a bit more, get a little bit more glue in there, and go through the thing again, making sure that you're not gluing your pages together. I've got a little bit of a glue issue there, but it's fine. There we go. That is your little egg folio complete. It feels beautiful. It's really nice to hold. And of course, we've got all our tags with lots of writing space there. and right the way through the thing. It's finished, it's done, it looks beautiful. I'm delighted with it. What a little gem and a little treasure. And it's got its own little box. It fits very nicely inside its box. That slides in there and it feels lovely. This as a gift would just be delightful, or for your own self, a little bit of whimsy. What a beautiful little thing. I'm very happy with it. I hope you love it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, my loves, and I will see you next time.